Hello and welcome to Mission Nonprofit. I'm your host, Robert Kam. On Mission Nonprofit, we feature a local nonprofit organization from Thurston County, and this month we have Enterprise for Equity. And with me to talk about Enterprise for Equity is Lisa Smith, Beth Opliger, and Deston Denniston. Welcome to Mission Nonprofit, everybody.
Thank you.
So, Enterprise for Equity is an organization that funds low-income people to get them to become entrepreneurs so that they can make family wage living. Is that correct, Lisa?
It is, but I'll say that the main thing we do really is training and technical assistance. Although we do offer microloans to get started in business, our real strength is providing an environment where people can figure out what they need to do to be profitable, test all their assumptions, figure out what their cash flow is and their marketing and their operations, so that by the time they've written it out on paper, they're much sturdier and more confident about what they need to do to be profitable in real life.
And these are free classes, is that right?
No, actually there is a fee.
Okay.
They're very expensive to put on. We pay our trainers well, we do very comprehensive training programs, but for people with limited incomes who don't have the full fee, we offer scholarships to be in the program.
So, but you do have some free workshops and some free classes.
Definitely.
And Beth, you're the training director.
Yep.
So you are in charge of these classes. Can you tell us a little bit about them?
Sure. Is now the time to
Yes,
launch
great.
into
Yeah.
all the different, because we offer a number of different programs. So as Lisa said, our main focus is business planning support in the form of classes, but we also offer personal financial education and a class we call Dependable Strengths. So our business planning program is really focused at helping people figure out how to be successful in business, how to think about exactly what they're going to be selling, how much they're going to be charging for it, to whom they will sell it, how to bridge that promotional plan, how to price for profitability, how to understand their expenses, how to do cash flow projections. It's a very comprehensive program.
Sounds like a college course.
It actually, a number of people who have gone to Evergreen have equated it to a quarter-long program there, so we hear that a lot. It's about 60 hours in length in class, probably an equal number outside of class,
That or more,
dedicated
yeah.
to research and writing and industry connections. There's also a very cool coaching component to the program. So while most of the program happens in class in a group format, we also offer small group coaching. So what that looks like is we break the class into smaller groups of 2 or 3 and assign them a coach. So they get several sessions with that coach to work on their business development in a more personalized way. So while the elements of business planning are pretty globalizable across many, many different types of business, the coaching offers a way for people to get a more personalized, more tailored type of support for what they're working on, or the types of knots they're trying to untangle in their progression forward.
How long is the course, actually? I mean, we talked about it sounds like a college course, but
Yep. It's 60 hours.
So 60 hours, but that's in like a month, right? Is that?
No, that happens over the course of about 2.5 months.
Oh, okay. So
Yep.
it is basically the length of a quarter.
Yeah, and it meets
Okay.
about once a week. There's some flexibility. It's not the same every time we offer it, but about once a week. And then when folks are outside of class, they're doing the field research or homework assignments that are given to help them focus their thinking and their questions, so that as they're moving through the program, they're developing different aspects of their business plan, which is the end product.
And you guys are in Thurston, Lewis, Pacific Mason, and Grays County, right?
That's correct.
So these classes are held in different places across all those counties
That's correct.
at different times of the
Well,
year.
yeah, and primarily the business training and technical assistance happens for any resident from those communities to come and attend. We've done small workshops around the community, but we've focused primarily the business training in Thurston for anyone in that region.
So Deston, did you went through this program?
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about your experience? You are a graduate and an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Yeah. So tell us about your experience with it.
Well, I think I had a rather unique experience. I had done property management for a few years, and this was back in the early 2000s, and I left that to go become a farmer. And in about 2012, I'm a veteran, and I started running into a lot of veterans who were struggling with job and employment opportunities. And I went and talked to the state VA, and I said, why don't we look at ways to get veterans employed? And Enterprise for Equity was one of the things that came up on our radar. I said, I want to see if this is a viable way for veterans to actually get employed and build entrepreneurships. So I went and kind of gave it a litmus test. And it was great. Everything that I had learned while I was doing property management, I managed $20 million of assets. I left that, I started a farm. The farm was not bringing in the income, and I was looking at all these vets that were unemployed. I was like, I put 2 and 2 together, and then I went to the program, and everything that I learned in business management while managing property, real estate, was there. And in addition to that, marketing and financial, like personal, like how do you manage your books when they change? If you're going to bump up a level, what's going to happen? And so this all got covered in the class. And then the network connections in the community were amazing. So not only did I go back to the state VA and say, yeah, let's endorse this and work with this organization, it changed my business and my business focus and brought me a whole bunch of new ideas and avenues for being able to do the work that I do.
And you mentioned like the networking and stuff. I noticed on your website that you have a business directory of all the people who have taken the program. And so you can go to your website, is it enterpriseforequity?
Yes, www.enterpriseforequity, all spelled out lowercase.org.
.org. And so you can go there and you can look up that business directory. And anybody who's taken this course, they've got their business and they've got a business now. Then you can click on the link and check them out, and that's a good way to like shop locally.
Well,
right?
the best part is that these are examples. These are 40 of the over 160 businesses that are up and running. So not all of them are up there yet.
Oh, okay.
We're just slowly but surely getting up there. But basically, it has a picture of them, a summary of their business, kind of the cool services they provide, and they all tell a little bit of a story about Enterprise for Equity and their experience with the program. So if people are curious, they can learn more about it from their perspective.
And Dastan, you did agriculture, or you did farming, and I noticed also you kind of are looking for that, right? You're looking for farmers.
Well, you know, we serve everybody, piano tuners and dog training and web design and childcare, every kind of business you can imagine. And we have been for 15 years. What we know is that a person can have a job and make a good living, but if they're really good at it and they want to be self-employed, they can, with good planning, potentially make much more doing that same craft, but owning their company. You know, really building an asset to move out of poverty or, you know, generate more income. So we serve everybody, but we do have an emphasis on agriculture, yes.
Right, because I saw that you had a link that it was really clever, agripreneur.
Yeah, and I don't know if this is a good time, but we had a bunch of farmers and farm stand operators and beekeepers come to us in 07 and 08. And then we decided to spend a year, develop a curriculum, and build a business training program for food, fish, and farm-based enterprises. We did that in 09, and we had 7 start and 7 finish. And then each year we do a cohort of agripreneurs. Last year we had how many graduate?
I think 17.
17 graduates last year. So we know that these food-based agripreneurs are just a part of the larger picture to build our rural and our urban economy. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you had a video with some testimonials from some of the graduates, some of the entrepreneurs.
Yeah, these are just stories from people who completed our program last year. And one thing we learned from these farmers is that it's hard to get access to land. And so we partnered with the South of the Sound Community Farmland Trust, Creekside Conservancy, and Kersop Farm to build an incubator farm. And so we have now 33 acres down in South County in Rochester where we're able to grow entrepreneurs, grow farmers on the land. And so these are from our graduation last year, and we'll have another one September 20th, and I'd love to tell you more about that.
Okay. Well, why don't we take a look at some of these testimonials, and we'll be right back to talk more.
Amazing entrepreneurs.
I co-founded Rolling in 2008, actually as a student at Evergreen. And we wrote the first, you know who he knows. And I wrote the first business plan then. And then after about about a year and a half in business, we went through Enterprise for Equity, and that was extremely useful to have a year and a half of actual data to use as we learned how to analyze all of these financial reports and build a cash flow and do market research. All of that was very useful at that point to really dial it in and do another business plan, and it was great. And then upon graduating, we became eligible for their microfinance program, the loan program. And we did take a loan, and we used that loan to build our fermentation room, which was a really important part for us, an important step for us to expand and to make a higher quality and more consistent product. And we weren't eligible for a loan at a bank at that time, so this was really important for us, and the terms were really great. And then beyond that, the network coming out of Enterprise for Equity has been great. I still go back and talk to Lisa sometimes when I'm trying to figure out a problem, and I talk to Melissa, and I talk to Joanne, and I've talked to other graduates. I've also gone to some of the continuing education workshops, and I've even been asked to teach one, and Beth, wherever you are, I'm really going to get that summary too soon. And I've also consulted for some other grads who had similar products to mine to help them get over some barriers in the process. So it's really a community that I give and receive, and it's been really great. It's helping this community down here in the South Sound develop a better local economy. And then 2 years ago, I started my MBA, and I graduated from Pinchot University this June.
Yogurt in glass. I started my business about a year and a half ago. I took the Enterprise for Equity class 5 years ago. And the only reason I'm here today is because of Enterprise for Equity. I never would have had the courage to actually do it. They just gave me the tools to figure out how to make it work. And in our first year, so we've been in business now for a year and a half, in our first year we grew 100%. Businesses can do that. And I just received a micro loan from Enterprise for Equity and I'm sure we're going to grow another 100% in our next year. And I wanted to say, I actually have 2 employees, which is so exciting. I learned from Enterprise for Equity to even know where I am, know where my business is, know that I could hire employees, and know where I'm going. So when I get there, I can have a party.
By 2010, my work had really grown in artistry and craftsmanship, and I was changing, rethinking how could I get some more clients. I was doing the Olympia Pediatrics entryway, if anyone's been there. And really hoping to get more projects like that, not really having a sense of how to make that happen. And I had been accessing resources from Enterprise for Equity for the past 3 years anyway, but I was able to always revisit and say, okay, I want to re-envision my business now and find the resources to do that. I visited the Small Business Administration on their advice, and I gave myself a new name, so I switched from Cosmic Blue Monkey Designs, which people were not taking very seriously, to Jennifer Coons Mosaic. Got a new website, business cards, and I just started marketing myself in a new way, and the economy tanked right about that time, so it took some time. But within this past year, I did the commencement base for Washington State University. I did 11 commissions for a company called L'Occitane of Provence. Actually, I did. They're all over the country in these high-end locations like the Prudential Center in Boston, places I'll maybe never go. And I just got back in October. I did a 71 square foot mural in Georgia. There are a number of things I could go on, but it basically sums it up. And Enterprise for Equity was the foundation for that growth, and I don't know that I would have even had the courage to do it without the cheerleading from Enterprise for Equity.
Welcome back to Mission Nonprofit. If you're just joining us, our guest this month is Enterprise for Equity. And with me to talk about Enterprise for Equity is Lisa Smith, Beth Opliger, and Gaston Deniston. So we just heard from some people that have been through your training program, some testimonials, and lots of success stories there. And we were going to talk more about the agripreneurs.
Sure.
That cool name that you guys came up with.
Right. Well, it's basically food-based enterprises. And what we really have been learning is that there's a lot of growth in local food. People are interested in the nutritional value, helping local farms, food tastes better, ways of building our rural economy. So we have really spent a lot of time building partnerships with WSU Extension and the Veterans Conservation Corps and many others at Evergreen to really strengthen how farmers can grow, how people can get trained to become farmers or get jobs on farms, but also really how do we help increase awareness and capacity for our region to grow local food. And so last year we were funded by the Community Foundation to do research and actually look at what farmers need and what buyers need. And we are learning that if we can help farmers grow their capacity to meet the growing demand for local food, we're going to be stronger. And that's really the focus of our program. I just want to say that we're having an event on September 20th, and we are launching our incubator farm this year. We have a farmer who completed our program. He's 22, phenomenal entrepreneur, Steamboat Junction. He's on the farm now. He's selling his products at both Hagen's on the west side and in Lacey. Wow. And he got a microloan from us, and he's a tremendous asset to the community. But there's a lot of folks in our region that you may not know about. Farming is just one of the big parts.
Does he have a brand name for these products? Like
yeah, his company's name is Steamboat Junction.
Steamboat Junction.
Steamboat Junction.
Steamboat Junction.
Yeah.
Okay. And this event, it's at Scatter Creek Farm and Conservancy in Rochester.
Right. And just go to our website. You can sign up. We'll send you the directions and all of that. It's going to be a sweet, beautiful event under these huge oak trees. It's really pretty phenomenal. Two other things. We're bringing together institutions in our region to help them buy more local food, hospitals, school districts, grocery stores, et cetera. And then we're also helping farmers and these buyers get together and do more commerce together later in December. So we've got a lot of really good work coming up.
So go to their website, which is enterpriseforequity.org, all spelled out. And that event is September 20th from 3 to 5 at Scatter Creek Farm and Conservancy in Rochester.
Yeah.
So, Beth, you were going to talk more about the training program, particularly you had the financial planning part of it.
Sure, I can talk about that. You
That's
bet.
where you teach people to be like money conscious and responsible.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, so this is a separate class series, separate from our business planning program, in that it's open to the general public. You don't have to be interested in owning a business or opening a business in order to take it. We've had over 500 people go through this personal financial education class series in the past about 6 years. And it's a 16-hour program that happens over the course of 1 month. And we usually have between 10 and 16 folks sign up and go through the class series, which focuses on sort of two things. One, it helps people explore their personal relationship with money and unpack that a little bit and become sort of more empowered around how they want to relate to and use money in their lives. And the other part of the program is focused on skill and information, skill building and information delivery. So we cover a broad range of topics, from personal financial goal setting to how those align with your core values, to creating a budget, a daily, weekly, monthly spending plan. We bring in guest experts to talk about creating and protecting assets, insurance, how to read your credit report, how to understand the impact of your credit score on basically everything in your life, how to repair credit, how to build credit. We bring in people from banks and credit unions to really talk about how to open an account or how to understand how to build a positive relationship with the employees in a financial institution. We bring in a specialist to talk about how to build steps toward buying your first home. So it's a broad range of topics. It's very rich and really empowering. We still have people writing us letters and emails about how the class positively impacted them. So
Is this a free class?
It is free, yes. It's
Yeah.
free, open to the public, and we offer it across the South Sound region.
Yeah, so it's a different place how often is it held?
We offer it between 6 to 8 times a year,
Okay.
so pretty regularly.
And each time it's kind of scattered throughout the different counties
That's
that you
right.
guys cover?
Uh-huh. Yep.
Yeah,
Great.
and this September is actually in Hoquiam,
Yep.
Hoquiam?
Grace
Okay.
Harbor.
Starts September 2nd, and there's information about it on our website as well, of course.
The other
Yeah.
thing too with this workshop is that we offer $25 cash for anybody who makes it to all 8 sessions on time.
So not only you get a free class, you can make money.
Yeah, and we want you, we are encouraging folks to open up a savings account. That's how you build wealth. So that's just one thing we wanted to share.
One incentive. Yeah.
The other part I'll just say that is really important in the work we do, we are very well connected. And through our financial education, dependable strengths, we're linked really strongly with the Asset Building Coalition here in Thurston County. It's a fabulous collaboration of health, food, income, housing, partners who really are about making it easier, shortening the path out of poverty. And so we couldn't do our work as well if it were not for our partners with the Asset Building Coalition, so it's a great partnership. And then the other part I want to share is with agriculture, we're working very closely with the Food Systems Council, which is a tremendous body of regional partners that are working to increase our local food. The Economic Development Council, Small Business Resource Center, there's so many partners that are, I think we are stronger because of our connections with them. And so it would be remiss for me to not mention them.
Growing local food is big here too. I mean, everybody wants to, they don't want to contribute to the transportation of goods all over through different states across the country and everything. Well, we can just grow it here because we've got the fertile soil, we've got the rain.
You bet. Well, and the other piece
Usually not
too,
this summer, but
if you look at the graduates in our business directory and those who've been very successful, a significant number of our entrepreneurs pay attention to that triple bottom line. How is it good for the earth? How are the people who are making it profitable treated? How is financially stable is the business? So People, Profit, Planet is really key to the work we do. And so if you look downtown at the Artesian Well, that was done by an entrepreneur of our program, Jennifer Kuntz. She also did the Swing sign for the Swing Wine Bar. Or Psychic Sisters. It's a shop right downtown that does amazing used clothing and beautiful pieces of clothing to buy. On the east side, you have Eastside Farm and Garden. Incredible resource for farmers in our region and household enthusiasts. Nineveh, have you eaten at Nineveh?
Yep.
She's a graduate of our program. Nineveh buys 40% of her food from local farms, pays top
Great.
dollar from our farmers. There's just so many. Oli Kraut is one last one I'd love to
oh,
share.
I love Oli Kraut.
Oh man, I spend too much on that, but it's so delicious. And she's buying like 100,000 pounds of cabbage, much of which comes from our region. Their ethic to do right for the land and for the environment is profound. And so if I could say anything about Enterprise for Equity, like what Distan has done in his business, we know that being profitable just isn't enough. Helping people that we employ be profitable or be wealthy is also important, and helping the environment too.
Distan, let's talk about your Operation Seed Ball. Tell me a little bit more about that. How did it come? Now, you went through the training program, you developed the business plan, and then you launched the company, right?
One of the things that Enterprise for Equity asks of anybody who comes to a class is that they have a hands-on tactile knowledge of the business that they want to start before they can get in. So it's not just a piece of paper, here's an idea, and then it's like years of knowledge. If you've been in the restaurant industry or agriculture and you want to start your own business and you come in and you have the tread worn off on your shoe through it, then they will sponsor the work. So I had a garage operation that I'd been making treated seeds for several years, treated with all natural materials. And I thought, this is a side project for me, but it's a perfect little project that I can really see how the nuts and bolts of their program works. Can I develop out of my garage something that actually sells? And it took a little while to figure out how to do the marketing because I'm not really very interested in doing retail. And so what I've been able to do is set up arrangements with conservation agencies, Center for Natural Lands Management, Washington State University, where we're doing field tests with these treated seeds. And we're looking at conservation and agricultural applications for them. So because of the connections that I was able to make in the program, I was able to figure out I'm not a retail salesman. Because I understood that, I was then able to say, how do I market it as a non-retail product? And that was really, really vital for me being able to get that project out of the garage and into the field. And now we have trials going on JBLM and also on reserved prairie land at a couple of the county reserves, where we've put native seed out that are treated, and we're finding out, are they going to perform better than the raw seed that goes out? So this is, it's very exciting in terms of conservation. It could save literally an order of magnitude of hours that go into restoration, making restoration much easier in some cases.
So it helps the seeds grow. Your product.
Well, seeds need water, and if you put them out in the field and they get water, they'll sprout. Problem is if there's seed out there, mice and birds come along and want to eat it because it's a delicious little nutrient packet. So we treat them, we cover them in clay. Depending on what seeds they are, we put different amendments in that clay. On the prairie, plants don't like much nutrition, so it really just gets a clay wrap out there. We put some biochar. We also inoculate with native prairie fungus, and we put that out there. Right now we're in the second year of watching these things grow. They didn't get eaten, and it's really looking good. So in the next 2 to 3 years, we'll be moving that business along. In the meantime, I've been working on the Vetch Cafe project, which trains veterans in conservation, agriculture, and forestry applications. And that's taking off too. We've got transfer of credit at the Evergreen State College for the certification. United States Forest Service has reviewed our program and wants to hire. We're talking with steel chainsaw distributors about putting people to work in the field as mechanics for steel chainsaw after they come through our program. So it's a very exciting time.
So you've started more than one business. You're an entrepreneurial times.
He's a serial
entrepreneur. We have a name for that.
Well, I'll just say too that Destin has been tremendous in building our capacity to better serve veterans, to work with the Veterans Affairs Office. We have just really been very grateful for your involvement and
thank you.
all the work we do.
Well, we do have to wrap it up, but
Sure.
I'm thankful for them.
Excellent. I'm sure the community is as well.
Yes.
And if you are grateful for Enterprise for Equity, show it with your donations, because they need the funds to do all this stuff, because your training program is subsidized by the organization, right?
Yeah,
so
we have several funders. We're having a fundraising event actually on February 18th, and that's where you actually give money. The September 20th one is not a fundraiser. Anybody can come to that.
Okay, go to enterpriseforequity.org and learn more. We'll see you next month. Thanks for watching. If you know of a local nonprofit that's making a difference in our community, give us a call at 956-3100 extension 103 or send an email to rkam@tctv.net.